Today we are going to discuss about maxima and minima. Let's discuss maxima and minima in general. See this graph. This is the function. Let's say this is fx. You can observe one thing, that there is a point C, and this is the value C comma fc. So you can see this within this given domain. Domain is from this point to this point. Let's say this is B, this is A. So this is the function defined in the domain AB, and you can observe that there is a point C in between A and B, whose value means fc is maximum. If we take example, let's say this is my x1 and let's say this is my x2. So this x1, we can observe that fc greater than fx1, or you can say fc is also greater than fx2, and in general we can say that fc greater than fx for all x belongs to I means the interval given. So this fc is your maximum value. Fc is the maximum value and C is the point. C is the point called maximum value point. Maximum value point. So now observe this second figure. You can see here that let's say this is your a comma b, this is the interval and this is the function, and there is also a point. This point is, this is maximum among all, and this point is the lowest among all points. So in this case we can see there is the minimum value also and there is the maximum value also, but we'll discuss this later on. We discuss this first. Now you observed in this graph that there is a point C whose value is the smallest value among all these points. Let's say this, and this is your fc, C comma fc, and this fc value is the lowest. And if for example if I say this is your x1, then your x1 comma x1 fx1, this fx1 is even bigger than this fc, and if I take this as x2, then this will fc will also be the smaller than this point. So from this figure point of view we can say there is fc which is less than fx1. You can say fc is also, let's say this point is x2 and fc is also less than fx2. So it means that in general you can say fc is smallest than fx for all x belongs to the interval I is the interval. This is the interval x2 to x. This we can say from this point, this is your a, and this point we can say this is b. So in the interval I, fc is always smaller than for whatever value of x you take. So here fc is called minimum value and C is called the point of minimum value. Now we can see other figure also. This figure we can see here very clearly that A is, this is your fa, this point is fa, and this is your fb, and this is the interval ab. You can see within this interval fa is the minimum value and fb is the maximum value. Now we can discuss something about extreme value. Extreme value means means let's say FC is called extreme value if FC is either maximum value or minimum value, and C is called either point of maximum value or minimum value. So the important point about extreme value is that extreme value can be either maximum or it can be minimum. For example, this FC is your extreme value, and here you see this FC is the extreme minimum value. So we don't have other cases like we can say there is the maximum value also, there is the minimum value also, so we cannot say like this. Here also you see FB, it can be either your minimum value, FB is your the maximum value, FA is the minimum value, but extreme values are only those values which will be either minimum or maximum. This FC value cannot be both. Now we discuss the first result, that every continuous function on a closed interval has maximum and minimum value. This is better you understand with the help of a graph. If there is a continuous function, let's say this is the continuous function which you can draw without lifting your pen. So this is your A comma FA and this is your B comma FB. So you can conclude from this graph that if there is a function which is continuous in the closed interval, important word is your closed interval, that type of function will always have the maximum and the minimum value both. So you can see this AFA is the minimum value and FB is the maximum value. So this is the result which can be understood by this graph very easily. Next result is by a monotonic function f. We should understand what is monotonic function. Monotonic functions means the functions which are either increasing or decreasing. If you are getting a case of monotonic function, then you can always have the maximum or the minimum value in the interval. We'll try to understand whatever we have discussed about maximum and minimum with the help of this question. In this we have to find maximum and minimum values if any of the following functions: fx equal to x square, x belongs to R. So this is always advisable that you draw the function. If you see that function is your parabolic function, not parabolic, this exactly u-shaped function that you have discussed in class 10th also. In 10th also we told you that this is a parabolic shape, so you can say this is a parabolic function also. So this function you can see very clearly that you have some value 0, f0 and f0, you know this is 0 comma 0. So from this graph we can understand that the possible value which is the minimum value is 0. So we can write that minimum value of fx is 0 and point of minimum value is 0. You can also observe that there will be no maximum value. You see, you go in this way, this will be going infinity, and this way it will be going infinity. So there will be no maximum value. There is no maximum value exist. So with the help of graph we can easily understand what is the maximum value and what is the minimum value. Let's discuss this example number 2. Find the maximum value and minimum value if exist of the following function fx equal to x and x belongs to 0 to 1. I discussed just before these two examples that every continuous function has minimum and maximum value, and the function is continuous in the closed interval. Here you can see this is the equation of a line. This is y equal to x. So this is the line, but the interval is open. X belongs to 0 to 1. So if I ask you what is the minimum value, then you can go very close to 0, but you will never get exactly 0. And if I ask you the nearest value of 0, then nobody can answer me what is the nearest value to 0. Even if you take fx equal to, let's say, 0.001, somebody asks, somebody say that fx equal to 0.001 is the minimum value that can be nearest to 0. But even that, there is another value which can be even smaller than this fx. Let's say example will be 0.000001. So this way you will never get the closest value, which is the closest value of 0. So that case we cannot find the minimum value of this function. Similarly, somebody may say that we'll get the maximum value of fx when fx is 0.999, you can say. But again, this is not the closest value to 1. We can have either even more closer than this value. For example, I can take fx equal to 0.99999 up to, we can go to any number of digits. So even in this case, we are not going to get the maximum value, which you can say, which is the always the greater value than other values. So this way also we are not going to get the maximum value. But if this interval becomes closed interval, say for example, fx is the same function x, and x belongs to 0 to 1. In this case, you can see that this function is starting from here and it's going up to here. So this is 1 comma f1, and so your maximum value here it will be f1, which is 1, and minimum value will be f0, which is 0. And if interval is not closed, so it's really difficult to say that function has minimum value and maximum value. So the result is not the vice versa. Remember this thing. If function is continuous and defined in the closed interval, then we can have maximum value as well as the minimum value. But vice versa is not true. Even the function, there may be a function which is defined in the open interval, but still the function can have maximum or minimum value. That we will discuss in some other examples. Now we will discuss about local maxima and local minima. The function is not always where you can see the sharp turn. Sharp turn means this type of turn, or you say this type of turn. So functions are like this function where you can see this is not the turning point, but this is the curve. This portion is a curve, and this portion is also the curve. This is also the curve, and this is also the curve. So you can see that these curves, what is the point where you will get the, for this point A, what is the point where you will get the minimum value around this point A. So let's say this is my point C, and this is very closed interval. This is C plus H, and this is C plus C minus H. So you can see that FC is that C point is between C minus H to C plus H, and the value FC will be lying somewhere in between FC minus H and FC plus H. So if this is a condition, and similar condition you will get at this point also, and let's say this is the point, and if this point is something, let's say this is B, and this is B minus H, then this will be B plus H. And on this is actually called the valley, and this is also the valley, and this is top hill. You can say this is top hill, and this is there is another point. There can be point, let's say small a, and this is the neighborhood A minus H, A plus H. And similarly here also, this point you say this is E point, and the neighborhood will also be E plus H and E minus H. So these are actually the valleys point A, B, C, D, and near to them means A and C, you see these are the valleys, and near to this point A you can see your minimum values will be existing, and at these top hills B and D your maximum values around B, or here the maximum value around D will be somewhere existing. So if you get minimum value at C, then this FC will be called the local maximum value. Why local? Because you are finding that locally around point A. So that's the meaning of local minima. Whereas in this you see point D somewhere, E minus H and E plus H, you will get value of Fe, which will be the maximum value in this interval E minus H to E plus H. So again that maximum value will be called local maximum value. So you can see now the definition also, C is called a point of local maxima if there exists H greater than 0 such that Fc is greater than equal to Fx for all x belongs to C minus H, C plus H. So C can be this point also, C can be this point also, but if, like for example, if I take in this example this E point, E is called a point of maxima. I mention this as E. Let's say this E. If E is called a point of local maxima if there exists H greater than 0, that Fe greater than equal to Fx for all x belongs to C minus H, C plus H, and x not equal to C. So this way your Fe will be called local maximum value. Let's another example, let's say C is called, this example will take C is called a point of local minima if there exists H greater than 0 such that H greater than 0 means there must be an interval around it, and you can see the valleys bottom. So valleys bottom is this, and within this bottom you will get some value of Fc, and which is always less than equal to Fx for all x belongs to, for all x belong C minus H, C plus H. So this is your value which is the lowest, and but this will be called local minimum value. Now we understand what are the critical point. A point C in the domain of a function. Domain of a function, whatever the domain is given, for example, let's say this is A to B. This is the domain of this function Fx. This is your Fx. So is Fx of F at which either F dash C is equal to 0 or F is not differentiable. So we'll later we'll discuss this thing also. F is not differentiable. We will discuss this, that F dash C is equal to 0. You can see here that Fc here, if I differentiate this function and I put differentiation of this function at C, then this is going to be 0 because this is a tangent parallel to x-axis, and that's why this F dash C is going to be 0. So that C point is called your critical point. And a function can have many critical points. It depends upon the function and the given interval also. Now we come to this, and F is not differentiable is called the critical point of F. So now we'll discuss about this is your modulus function Fx equal to mod x. You can see that point origin. That point origin has coordinate 0, 0. You can see that F is this function, this modulus function is not differentiable at this point x equal to 0. So your F dash, your function, this is not, why this is not differentiable? Because if you apply the definition left hand derivative and left hand derivative, then your values of this function will not be same. It means that it is not differentiable at x equal to 0. So x equal to 0 is called the critical point. So critical points are now of two types. You understand this because many of you might have a doubt that critical points are always the points which at which the tangent becomes 0, but that is not the case. these are also the points where the function is not differentiable as well. Now we are going to discuss the first derivative test to find out the maximum value and the minimum value. Now I'll take the help of this example. This is the graph. You can see this graph is going up, and at this point this is becoming this is becoming flattened, and after this is coming down. So now we are just going to discuss that at point C1 how the tangents are behaving around this C1, this point C1. So we'll take some small point. Let's say this point is C1 minus H, and let's say this point is C1 plus H. So if we want to decide, and this is the critical point also, you can see because f dash C1 is going to be 0, so C1 is your critical point. So I'm writing this here, that C1 and C2, C1 C2, you can say C3 C4 also C3 and C4 are critical points. As I mentioned earlier, whether that it is not necessary that f dash C is 0 is the only critical point. The critical points are also the points where the function is not differentiable. So at this corner, this is very sharp corner. So this is sharp corner, this function is not differentiable, and this corner also the function is not differentiable, but these points C3 and C4 will be called the critical point. So now let's start from this C1. So I have taken the closed interval around C1, and that is C1 minus H2, C1 plus H. Now what happens, I see that how the tangent will be behaving. If I go to any point, let's say point here, some point is there, and if I want to draw the tangent at this point, I am using that pen. So I am now finding that tangent is drawn, and you can see that theta is less than 90 degree. So this is theta, and when I am crossing that point C1, so some other point I can take this point, and if I draw some kind of tangent, you can see, so this tangent will have the angle, this is more than 90 degree. So we are now talking about the point C1, so we will discuss this part separately. So here you can see this is your theta, let's say this is theta 2 and this is your theta 1. So tan theta, first it is positive, and if you take some point more than C1, then your tan theta is going to be, tan theta which is tan theta 2 here is going to be negative, because this is more than 90 degree angle. So you can say, if you are getting a situation like this, then you can say that C1 is your point of maximum value. So that we can write also, and but better you keep in mind that figure, that C1 is a critical point, and we have to decide whether it is increasing or decreasing. So it will be increasing if you take any smaller point. Let's say I can take the example of C1 also. C1, let's say this is 2. So C1 minus H, you can say this is going to be 1.9, and C1 plus H is going to be 2.1 if H is 0.1. So if I take any value less than 2 and more than 1.9, somewhere 1.99 you may take. So if you find the derivative and you find that this is the answer is going to be positive, and next example you may take like 2.01 you take, and if your tangent is going to be negative, then it means that C1 is the point of maximum value. So this is that we have discussed, and now we discuss about this point C2. We can also write that into the words. So now we can formulate that whatever we discussed, that f dash x changes sign from positive to negative. First this is positive, and then it's going to be negative as x increases through C1. Through C1 means in the closed interval of C1 minus H to C1 plus H, it's increasing. Then if C1 is maximum value and C1 is a point of maximum value. Now we'll discuss about the minimum value. Let's say f dash c. What's happening now at f dash c? This is c2. So I can take some interval again, c2 minus h, and this is c2 plus h. So if I take value left to c2, then I can draw a tangent, or I can highlight this thing here. This is the case. This is a curve. So this is your point C. This is C2. So if I take, let's say, any point here, this is, or you can say this is your C2 plus C2 minus h, and I'm taking this point. And if I draw the tangent at this point, you can see the tangent is going to have this angle is more than 90, so it means the tangent is going to be negative. And if I take some point near to this point, let's say, and if I draw the tangent, then at this point this theta is going to be less than 90 degrees, so this is going to be positive. So now we can formulate this thing, that f dash changes sign from negative to positive, this time from negative to, so this is your second part. F dash x changes sign from, this is, you are taking left point of point C2, so changes sign from negative to positive as x increases through C2, then FC2 is called minimum value and C2 is the point of minimum value. Now we will discuss about the third point also, that there are some critical points where you will see that function is neither going positive to negative or negative to positive, means the function remain have the same sign around that critical point. In that case, we say that function is neither increasing nor decreasing. So if f dash x does not changes sign through, you can say any point, let's say through let's say C, any point, any critical point through C, then FC is neither a maximum value nor a minimum value. And in this case, actually the point C is called the point of inflection, and we can say C is a point of inflection. So you must remember this point of inflection, where you can see, like for example, if I make a graph, some point is there, you take any function, the sign is this, and you go after this function, the sign of the sign is not changing. The sign is not changing, it means your C is the point of inflection.